Ron Meran from Radware. Radware is a company who is dealing with internet traffic management and cybersecurity. We are protecting thousands of online customers worldwide, retailers, gaming companies, gambling, marketplaces, news, and so on. And in my presentation, the next 40 minutes, I would like to talk about why do organizations, no, it's going to be 20 minutes, why do organizations, when talking about cybersecurity, I will go through some cybersecurity chronicles, why do organizations bring a knife to a gunfight? Okay, so what am I going to talk about in the next session? First of all, few examples of cyber attacks to understand why they reach a tipping point. Then I will move and talk about the modern economics of cyber attacks, because we know that attacks, hacking industry, cyber attacks, it's about hackers and so on, but eventually as organizations, the way we should look at it is the economics, and this is the name of the game, okay? Then I would like to talk about why so many organizations who do have budgets, who are getting ready for the battle, are losing the battle, and understand how to win the battle and the game. The way we should look at it is the economical way. So let's start with few examples. The first case is an attack against a company called Blizzard. Usually in other conferences I would have to explain who Blizzard is or who Hypixel is, and I think that in this conference I don't have to explain who this company is. They were suffering from denial of service attacks. Denial of service attacks, it's the type of attack where an attacker sets a botnet, thousands of zombie computers who are sending irrelevant data or fake user information into website in the intent to shut down the services of this website. This is today a very typical and common type of attack. Almost every organization, online organization, is facing these attacks on a daily basis. In the case of Blizzard, who are running platforms for multiple games, they were suffering from an advanced persistent denial of service attack, which means that they have been suffering from attacks for weeks where their website for some time was down or the service was degrading. What we've seen, as you can see here, volumetric attacks, volume of denial of service attacks reaching up to 600 gigabits. Just to understand, Israel as a country doesn't have 600 gigabits of internet connectivity, not even half of this. So imagine how much or what enormous amount of traffic was hitting the Blizzard website. And it was also a complex type of attack, which includes network and application attacks. Again, what do we care about is the business impact. It's about financial loss, because when the website doesn't work, we lose money. But it's also about reputation, and I've seen through social media people talking about, I could play for 2 minutes and then I could not continue, or every 3 minutes I see that the service halts and so on. The second case is way more sophisticated type of attack called web scraping. What is it about? This is a major US airline. I will not mention the name, but it's one of the top 3 airlines in the United States. Number 1, I think today, is American Airlines. Number 2 or 3 is United, so this is airline number 3. They suffered from an attack, a very sophisticated attack, where the attacker set botnet with fake users, imitating users, who were looking for certain routes on certain dates and then booking seats. But when you enter this airline website and you make the booking and you book the seat on an airplane or on a flight, what happens is that the system, the website, tells you that this seat is guaranteed or reserved for you for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, if you don't complete the payment, they will release the seat. The attacker simply set the botnet with the fake users to book the seats, wait 20 minutes, and then rebook the seats again and again. Eventually, this airline found out that certain flights were flying empty. Okay? So I think that the understanding here of what is the possible damage is extremely high. Standard protection tools could not help them because the problem is, okay, if I've been hit by too much traffic, which is garbage, I can differentiate. But if suddenly I see users coming to my website, looking for a flight, setting dates, setting destination, and then booking a seat, it looks like a legitimate user. And I've got no idea what will happen in the next 20 minutes if they are really going to complete the reservation or not. And if they are not complete, okay, then they are out of my system. But I have no idea that these are fake users which are going to come back and overuse or misuse my services. At the end of the day, I'm losing money. Okay, so why do cyber attacks reach a tipping point? First of all, there are more resources. In the next slides, I will show you when we say resources, it's so easy today to download tools or get services to attack. There are more targets, which means more organization. In fact, today almost every organization is going online, and there is more sensitive data stored on the internet, including health records and the credit cards. And the industry is getting more mature. You will see it in the next slides. But again, it's all about economics, and let's look in a few examples. This is a screenshot taken from a website from the darknet. In the darknet, this is where you can find tools, you can find services, you can find sensitive information, and I hope that you can see it here. On the left side, this attacker is selling healthcare database. He's got almost 400,000 patients available from Georgia, United States. On the left side, you see here an example of what a health record looks like. Then you can select here, I don't know if you can see it, here. You can select how many health records would you like to buy, how would you like to get them, and here you get the price in Bitcoins, of course, and then you need to click buy it now, you buy it. This attacker, if he is selling this database only once, is going to make almost $400,000. He's making money. We also see ransom attacks. Ransom attacks, we are used to the type of attacks which are locking your computer, encrypting your traffic, but denial of service attacks are also a mean of setting ransom. And then you get the letter, the ransom letter. If you are not going to pay about $7,000, the attackers are going to shut your website. And from the knowledge we've got from our own customers, many of them are paying the ransom. Remember this guy? Prince of Nigeria, sending us emails. They've got so much money, they simply don't know where to put it. So this guy is still in the neighborhood. And there are also fake mails for ransom attacks. So if you are getting these mails, think twice before you are treating them as genuine. You are invited to the Radware website. We provide there a guide how to identify whether these mails are fake or not. As a service, you don't have to download tools and then use your own computers. You can go, again, everything in the darknet, and you can rent attack services. Here, for example, at $20, you will get a DDoS attack service of 15 gigabit for 20 minutes. Why 20 minutes? This is exactly the amount of time that you need to attack before you are sending the ransom email, okay? For those in the industry. And I talked about the industry which is getting mature. So what is your mental image of a hacker? Is this what is crossing your mind? This is the reality today. Reality today is a bunch of people, there are communities, they are growing older, They are not operating alone, not anymore the lone wolf. Okay? So these are the type of people we need to get ready to fight against. They've got the time, they've got resources, they take the time to study a victim, gather intelligence, prepare the plan, launch attacks. We who are defending, we don't have any advanced information about it. On the other hand, why don't we survive? It's because many organizations are bringing a knife to a gunfight. And when I say that we bringing a knife to a gunfight, it doesn't mean that organizations are not getting ready for the fight. Organizations are getting ready for the fight, but for the wrong fight. And to understand why, again, it's the economics. When talking about security, there are you need to find the balance between two forces. One is the budget, okay? How much you are going to invest, how much people you are going to recruit, and how do you manage your risk. On the other hand, you have to comply with regulations, you have to maintain revenues, it's also about job security, and when we talk about these forces, usually the winner is the budget, which limits our availability to select the right tools. But here, we've got advanced technologies and we need to change the way we protect our assets on the internet. Standard protection tools are rate-based, which means I see too much from the same traffic, maybe it's an attack. Let's block it. Bad idea. You need to understand who is attacking you and why, and only then block it. Because if you are going to block based on rate, you are blocking also legitimate users. And for us, every transaction translates to money. Most of the attacks on our industry are zero-day attacks, meaning attacks nobody has ever seen before, which means that my staff needs to develop a signature. Signature is the pattern of the attack, the way which enables us to defend. The most practiced security expert will need at least 30 minutes to develop a signature. No, we need advanced automated tools to develop signatures. Most protection tools, once they detect an attack, they will block the sources, the IP addresses, the machines. But attackers are well aware of the fact that protection tools are using source IPs to block attacks, and what they do, they simply change the IP address. They attack you from different sources. That's it. It's quite simple. So you need tools to identify the attacker behind the machine. So if the attacker appears from another location or another machine, you can still block it because you know who is attacking you. And this way, we can change the equilibrium or the balance. We can make the change. It's not a holy grail anymore because we can change the economics of the attacks. And remember, technology is getting better, faster, and cheaper. Okay? So to summarize, there are many more resources today on the internet to attack us. Tools, methods, services. There are more targets because more organizations are going inline and more sensitive information is stored and available online. In the industry, I'm talking about the attackers, they are getting more mature, more advanced, and more organized. The answer is to invest in automated, adaptive technology. As I said before, technology gets better, faster, but mainly it's get cheaper, which enables us to change the equilibrium, because when it gets more expensive to attack us, the attackers will simply move to another target. Okay? We will never be in the position where we can block any potential attack. In the security world, you know, there is no 100%. But we can change the equilibrium. We can make the attacker's life tougher. We can cause the attackers to move to other victims avoiding attacking us because it's going to cost them much more, which means that their ROI is degrading. Thank you very much.